also taking a risk if you buy an older house that the price of energy will increase substantially and the value of that house will decline commensurately. The National Association of Appraisers says that if you decrease the cost of operating a house by $1 per year, you increase the value of that house by $20. I'm working on a home right now that, just a rough ballpark, it's going to cost $15,000 extra to build it the way it was built. But it's going to reduce the operating cost of that house by at least $1,200 a year, maybe $1,500 a year. So that is creating value of somewhere almost $25,000 to $30,000 in that house at a very moderate cost. And it's kind of neat. You stop heating the house, and 2 days later the house is cold. So that's kind of a real benefit. If the power goes out, you might never notice it if you've got your laptop charged up. So that's not a very good introduction of myself, but we'll go forward. I guess my perspective is as a green entrepreneur. The global economy is transforming, and I have a slightly different spin on the green jobs thing because, I'm a classic green job employer. I install solar electric systems, I hire engineers and other technical people, but and I try and persuade people that they can do stuff that's a little bit different. But the global economy is transforming, and there are many out there who would be very content if you thought that that was scary, because they're scared. They're happy with the way the system is, selling you fossil fuels or electricity generated with fossil fuels. But I'm bringing you the good news. The greening of the U.S. economy is not going to hurt us. Companies in the U.S. economy who are leading the green wave, they are getting patents that they are able to sell or lease around the world. And companies like, for example, Toyota in Japan, who are leading the green economy, today they announced that they will be releasing a plug-in Prius. It's going to get 135 miles per gallon. That blows the doors off of anything that is even contemplated here, except for possibly GM's Volt, which we haven't seen it yet. The U.S. auto companies sometimes talk a lot more than they deliver. But greening of the U.S. economy is not going to hurt us. It's going to make your workplace safer. It's going to make your air cleaner. It's going to make your drinking water better. It's going to make your planet more fun. There's going to be more. You're going to walk down the street and you're going to see a pear or a peach or something growing on a tree on the side of the road because somebody was thinking, hey, let's eat local. I'm going to landscape with trees that you can eat from. And most importantly, our homes are going to be safer. Right now, our homes are often, they leak heat, so they in the winter they dry up. They're too dry. They trap contaminants. Some of them we bring in from our dry clean clothes or our chemicals, but they also just trap cooking fumes or whatever. They're not particularly well ventilated. They're not particularly energy efficient. So all of these things are going to be benefits that will accrue to all of us individually and collectively. My message about green jobs, as I said, I do try and hire people to work to help me do renewable energy things. But when I go looking for someone, what do I want to see? Something that I think maybe Latinos have a real competitive advantage in. I look for team players. I look for people who see a board with a nail sticking out of it, and they take 10 steps out of their pathway to pick it up and put it where nobody's going to step on it. So I guess that addressed safety a little bit. I look for people who are going to think for a minute or two before they do something that's dangerous. People who aren't going to try and save me money by being fast, because they're going to cost me a whole lot of money by getting hurt, and they're going to give me a bad day when I have to tell their family that they're in the hospital. I look for people who are reliable. In other words, they say they're going to be at work, and they show up. I look for people who are drug and alcohol free. That's a real chronic problem in the construction industry, but I can't deliver safety and quality and the kind of outcomes that I want for my customers when I don't have that situation. But I have been reticent to implement drug testing, and I found a method which uses some psychological-based testing that just allows people to demonstrate that they're alert when they arrive at work. And that's been really helpful for me. I could give that if somebody is an employer who wants to know about it. I look for people who have initiative, and I'm going to say it again, I mentioned it earlier. I look for subcontractors who are certified as historically underutilized businesses. So that can be a business that's owned and controlled by a woman. It can be a business that's owned or controlled by a minority. There we go. Thank you, Val. And that's because I'm moving into the area where I'm probably going to be working more with, as co-developer with utilities or not-for-profits, other groups that are willing to take a little bit of the leading edge in the solar field, because prices are still a little bit up there. With green jobs, I mean, everybody out there has existing skills. I want anybody to think of a strange job that they think is not green and just call it out and tell me now, and I'll tell you how it's a green job or how there's green potential in that job. Anybody, please, shout out a job. What do you think is the non-greenest job out there? No volunteers. Help me.
We're thinking.
Coal mining.
Coal mining. That's
Okay, that's a tricky one. But in the energy